A show based on the facts, honesty, the man, the myth, the legend, constitutionalist Joseph M. Leonard.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Books, Authors, Weeks, October of 2025. I had Health Weeks in February of 2025. I had a Music Weeks, 3 of those in the month of March 2025. So here we are, October. I have a lot of fellow authors I have the chance to have discussions with. So Books, Authors, Weeks, October 25. Without further ado, let's head into a discussion with a fellow author. Welcome to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's Leonard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and an occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Constitutionalists. For those viewing on behind the scenes, you see, yes, I'm wearing my The Book of Kennedy, my latest book shirt. I'm not going to go into the whys and wherefores that the Kindle cover, the soft copy cover, and the hard copy cover all look different than this. Joining me are a couple of authors. Those behind the scenes can see I've got a couple of guests rather than one here. So have to break the normal interview routine. So let's start. For those on the 25 plus audio only platforms that may be listening, we'll go around the room with an introduction to this question. Where were you born and raised, and where are you now? Right? I like to joke, cue the Who song. Who are you? Who, right? Ladies first, Rocks.
So I'm out of Dallas, Texas. I actually moved to Texas from California, which is quite a mental shift for me. But I've loved it, and I'm now considered by Charles, who is a native Texan, I'm naturalized. So I can almost behave everything Texan.
Yeah, and for the audio and the transcript, that's Rocks Berkey, Burkey. That will, of course, be on the bottom screen in the edited final video version. But for those listening and the benefits of the transcript, that's how you spell her name. Also with me, another of the duo, a writing duo. I'm so happy to have a writing duo as opposed to just yet another single author. It opens up some wonderful new different questions. Charles Brakefield, welcome.
Joseph, I have to admire your level of energy. I'm already tired, and we haven't even gotten started on this this particular show. Yes, I'm the co-author with the fabulous Rocks Berkey. I'm Charles Brakefield. I'm an Air Force brat. I was born in Austin, Texas, so I have, I got to claim that particular title of being a naturalized Texan. But because when your dad says, "Hey, moving," we picked up and moved every 2 years. I didn't realize people didn't live out of a box until I was 13. Okay.
I born and raised in the downriver Detroit area, and I've been here my whole life. So yeah, you and I are kind of antithetical to each other in that regard. But the reason they are both here today is Enigma Jewels book series is a gripping techno thriller that will keep readers on edge of their seats. Award-winning authors
Brakefield and Berkey weave a suspenseful narrative that will leave readers enthralled from the first page to the last. The Da Vinci Code and National Treasure fans will love this fast-paced and action-packed novel. That's, of course, the propaganda that your PR guy, Mickey, that we both all know, sent out. And I love the Dan Brown books. I love the Dan Brown made movies. I love the National Treasure movies. Full disclosure, I've not read any of these books yet, but they already interest me based on that. So, Rox, what was the genesis of these books?
Great question. Thank you very much, Joseph. So this is actually the third book in the trilogy that we just released.
Enigma Jewels. What's the subtitle? Enigma Jewels is the overall series name, right?
Nope. No. Enigma Jewels is this installment in the trilogy, Enigma Heirs. So Enigma Heirs is the next generation of our heroes. So we've been writing for like 12 some odd years. And so it's kind of something that intrigued us, was having stories that relate to three really bad half brothers who all seem to have their own, their own place in the world.
You can't have three halves. That would be right. The math don't work. But or three separate pairs of half brothers.
Yes.
Charles, explain that, Charles.
Okay, so they're half brothers. They've got the same father, different moms, and his ambition was to have his own crime dynasty. And they took up where he was terminated early in his professional crime career. Is the backstory, and then each one of those brothers has their own criminal dynasty. So everything is they're related. They swap money back and forth. They do each other favors. They whack people when they need to. They launder money for using cryptocurrency. It's a great business model. Unfortunately, it's on the other side of the law.
Okay, Rox, since you're the transplant, I'll ask this of you because, again, this is fascinating to me since I write my own books. A collaboration with someone I find would be difficult. So how did you come across Charles? How did the two of you come together to become this duo?
Fortunately, we were actually coworkers. And so we came together from doing workshops for people, crafting, nonfiction kinds of white papers and publishing those for people, and found we could work well together. And so we set up our LLC to kind of create, somewhere around 40 books right now. And so Enigma Heirs, that trilogy, starts with Enigma Tracer, then goes to Enigma
Forced.
Thank you, Charles. and then goes straight to Enigma Jewels. So each one, and so it's on the top left of my screen. Each one of those talks about one of the brothers and what happens to them at the end of the book. And the only one left standing is Julian in Enigma Jewels. And he has a fascination with jewels that are buried in the Caribbean from sunken ships.
Okay, Charles, let's do the he said, she said. Well, we had the she said. What's your version of the tale of this marriage of convenience?
Well, to be blunt, we just come off of our second tech manual, and if you've ever read tech manuals,
I've written them.
yeah. Well, as soon as you're finished with it, the publisher's like, we have a refresh on it because it's out of date. So, I got ticked. Okay, full disclosure, I got ticked and stomped off, grabbed my marbles up and just left. Said, I ain't doing this no more. I'm not, But being the consummate saleswoman that she is, approached me a couple of months later and says, take a look at this. What is this? Just a couple of chapters. I think we can take our all the technology that we have and know, put it in the background, use fictional characters, and we'll make a great fictional story. I went, I don't know. I got to be, I got to be romance. I need flowers. I need, and she's okay. All right. And we can kill people and not go to jail. And I went, sold. Okay, yeah, we're there.
I love that answer. That's no offense, Rocks, but that's a much more, I don't know what word to use here, but from an author, yeah, there's the word, right. They're a much more intriguing and creative answer to that. You want to add anything more, though, to that, Rocks, or is it like he said?
No, it's the truth. And that's how we really started going down the path of fiction, because we could bend the stories and use live technology. And that's important.
Yeah, I'm a former IT guy, so hence, like I said, I've written technical manuals myself, and yes, indeed, the minute it's done, usually things have changed and you got to fix them. But yeah. So I forgot where I was going to go with that, but so I get right, but fictionalization, that's where I was going to go with it. Most people, like I've got a book, How to Write a Book and Get It Published, hints, tips, and techniques. The old saying, write about what you know, right? Yeah. Like the old Dragnet TV, the names have been changed to protect the, right? You fictionalize parts of reality and write about what you know mixed in. Now, obviously, you don't know about killing, but so you're taking the fictionalization for, like, I don't know terrorism personally myself, though I've got terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. So I can relate in a way, right? I get to kill people in that book. So that's kind of a fun thing in a way, right, Charles? You can. The old saying, like living vicariously through others, you kind of get to break the law through your fictional characters.
Well, part of that's true. We've brought in some people that we have known, actually come across. Yes, one was a bank robber, and one was an actual drug dealer that had apparently, when I talked to the FBI about him, he apparently had killed his first wife to be able to get the insurance money to start his drug business. There's some things that you can't unhear. You just don't. You're always like, man, I'm gonna remember that story for a long time. And so we do get some
creative license to that.
Creative people that we've come across, and we do sanitize them just a little bit, but boy, they make great. We got some great characters in our series and our books and backstories and short stories. So a lot of it's just like you. I mean, you get to talk to new people. You get to find out some different. What were you doing? When you were 13, kind of thing, and you get these snippets of like, I could use that for a real murderous character in number 10 or number 9, and those are the things we get to repurpose. People that we've met and perhaps didn't really work real well with them. Maybe we didn't like them. Maybe
you were afraid they might murder you.
Well, suffice to say, we got even with those people.
Yeah, Rocks, I hear exactly what he's saying. Like my Terror Strikes book, I was never in the CIA or the FBI or a law enforcement, but I know those types of people. I don't out them as sources, but I know things like things, learn things that then, again, we can then all fictionalize to a degree, right, Rocks?
Exactly. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to travel all over the world. So the crazy people that we've met, we either slice and dice personalities together to make
composite characters. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it works. It just works. And everybody says, oh, this technology can't be real. Yeah, well, it is. Because we do our research. And that's very important to us.
Yeah, Charles, right? Yeah, for those that don't know what a composite character is, if you've ever saw Patriot Day with Mark Wahlberg, he was a composite character. They couldn't put all 6 people. He was kind of molded into being in the dramatic representation in that movie of the Boston Marathon bombing day. The movie would be too long, there'd be too many people, so it's like 6 people get squished into this one guy to represent thoughts, fictionalizing real drama. And it sounds like you've done a little of that here, right, Charles?
Probably more than just a little, but and just truth be told, we get into some of these book sessions, Rox and I, because when we script out an outline, and I start taking turns batting it back and forth using our patent pending technique of literary ping pong to be able to write, and then the characters start getting that extra edge to them, and before we know it, it's not uncommon for them to be telling us, no, I need to be doing it this way. This is the character that you started. This is what I want to do. It surprises us. I just but somehow it works.
Yeah, it's like rocks. It's like Charles anticipated my next question. How does indeed a team, a duo work, right? You're both kind of throwing things into the outline, and do you write a little bit of something, throw it to him? He may have written a little of something else. You exchange ideas, exchange pages, talk about them, and then make changes from there.
So we actually use a spreadsheet to track all of our chapters.
I've done that before.
Our characters and the whole bit.
Me alone, one person trying to keep it straight. I've used a spreadsheet, so I can imagine how difficult it is when there's 2 of you are trying to work. I'm sorry, go on, Rox. I interrupted.
So that's okay. So we combine it into a Word document. Charles will write one chapter he feels passionate about. I'll write one I feel passionate about, and then he forwards it, and I kind of smush it together. That would be the technical term.
Yeah, Charles, it's like being an individual author. An editor, of course, then goes through my stuff and makes suggestions. I would imagine you kind of act as each other's editor until a book is done, and then some other editor looks for the grammar and the spelling and maybe change this or that, right? And you all haggle that out then, yes?
Yeah. So it's not uncommon for us to, as you suggest, we're editing as we're going along. Okay, this is wrong. The wrong word choice. Okay, but the important piece for us as dual authors, co-authors, is to make sure that when you finish the book, it reads like it's a single voice. It's not, oh, Charles did this one, Rox did that one. No, if we do that, then it's no good.
Yeah. Then you're confusing the reader. Yes.
Exactly.
If they can tell it's 2 different people, it's a problem. Yes, Charles?
Yeah. So our first line editor, it's not uncommon for her to come in and say, who wrote this? And if they can't figure out which one of us did it, then our
success.
Our first objective is there.
Now, Rox, Charles mentioned like word choice. Like in my Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You book, I engage in some wordplay. Do you do the same? Like in mine, I'll give one example. The editor comes back, well, why is this word here, right? Well, that's kind of a foreshadow setting up something. Like I, in my Naperville chapter, go into savior, S-A-V-O, S-A-V-I-O-R, lowercase, as in a worldly savior. You need an EMT to be your savior that day, as opposed to your Lord and Savior, capital S-A-V-I-O-U-R, spelt the religious way. Do you engage in any wordplay like that in your works?
Sometimes, but we actually live with thesaurus by our side,
Now,
just so we don't repeat. You know, we as humans, we tend to use words we're comfortable with, but it gets repetitive if we say the same words over and over and over. And I agree with savior versus savior.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It is a myth that terrorism stopped during COVID. Unfortunately, mainstream media opted to prioritize pandemic hysteria over promoting all news. Terrorism continues. Simply hoping that it doesn't affect you is not a strategy. The new book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you, featured on The Author Show, is now available in paperback from bookstores, online, or as an ebook exclusively through Amazon Kindle. Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you by Joseph M. Leonard. Order today.
Yeah. But an editor, unless if they know your work and what you're getting at, like he questioned it, is, well, you read the context of the paragraph and it makes sense. But like another word choice somewhere else in the book, Charles, it's like, well, why are you using that word? I would suggest, no, it's got to be that word because it's kind of a tease, a foreshadow to something else that's coming later.
Yeah. Now, one of the things we do, we don't, as Rox suggested, we don't spend a lot of time on that kind of word manipulation. But we do as a way, sort of as a way to poke fun at ourselves because we're technologists. Well, we take acronyms and we make up some of the most unusual. We actually have a full library of acronyms we publish on our website. And one that will probably resonate with you, since you're a technologist person, because it's really easy for us technologists to slip into acronym hell and not just kind of blather on, and people go,
"What?"
Yeah. So we have one main character that's throughout all the books, and he's an AI-enhanced supercomputer that works on with the good guys to help solve the immediate problems that the bad guys are shoving at him. And his name is SIKABOD, and it stands for Immersive Collaborative Associative Binary Override Deterministic Systems. It means nothing in any language except maybe Fortran.
That's an old computer language for those who don't know. Yeah. I used to code in Fortran.
Well, it cracked me up to see that, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are sending back signals based on their Fortran programming that's now out for 30, 40 years of like, who remembers that kind of detail? I guess people like you and I, Joe.
Yeah.
Rox is too young for something like that. So there it is.
You agree with that, Rox? You're too young for Fortran?
Oh, I wish I could say yes.
So, did you do programming in your day, or were you more the I was more the administrative side, but I did do some programming.
Early on, I did programming, but then I decided I wasn't going to be a good programmer. I really like to get into different weeds than a programmer likes to get into.
Mm-hmm. For any fellow IT related people, what languages did you code in back then?
Oh my gosh. I have to pull up my list. I'm sorry, Joseph.
Okay. Right. It's something you've purged from your memory. It's no longer needed, right?
Yeah. It wasn't
Pain
backed
is
up.
not to be kept.
Yeah, good point, Charles. Right. If it's not backed up, it's gone. Right. And as the saying goes, if you got one backup, you got zero backups. Tapes fail, discs fail. That's why you've got to back everything up. And PSA for all you laptop and whatever, right? You got to back up to an external device and disks and the cloud. You've got to be multiple places or you're done if the crash actually happens. Yes,
Yep.
Charles?
Exactly. So yeah, we yes, we use the belt and suspenders approach to taking care of our manuscripts. So she's got them, I've got them backed up, she's got them backed up. So we I keep all my backups in the safe with where the nerve gas canisters are. So if anybody is really passionate about taking them, good luck with that.
Rox, have you ever had a situation where something happened, something got lost, and you needed to retrieve something out of backup?
Oh, all you have to have is happen once to know you have to keep it in two places, period, if not more.
Exactly. I generally write my chapters with A through Z extensions, right? Keep different versions of the same chapter, let alone all the books and all the chapters saved various places. Because, right, Charles, I go and do how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques. You don't want to delete anything. You want to strike through what you think you're going to remove, because if you want to put it back later, it's still there and you can take the strike through off. For those strike through, right, is the words, you put the line through it. We know it on paper. In Microsoft Word and most writing programs, you can do a virtual strike through, so it's still there. Have you ever had a case like that, Charles, where we're going to throw this out, but you thought and struck it through, didn't throw it out, and recovered it later?
I'm a digital pack rat, so no, I don't throw anything out. It gets a different version, different date. And yeah, there have been times, even as meticulous as we both are, version control is a nightmare. And it's like, okay, oh yeah, well it's probably U2 noodles, you're shipping files back and forth. Oh, duh, of course, Now for single authors, it's the same problem, because which version did I send the editor? What version did I get back? And the genre editor gave me some edits, and oh my God, I've lost them. Like, version control is job one when we're writing. I promise you that.
You
and
agree
we use
with?
dates. We use dates. We don't use like A, B, C, D.
Okay.
That's
That
meant to keep.
Well, like A through Z, so long as I don't have more than 26 versions of a chapter, I'm okay. But yeah, because dates isn't good enough either, though, right? Date and time stamps you need, and that takes a lot of characters. Yes, Rox?
You just do it as a short date, right? 9_25 and 8:00 a.m.
Yeah. And if we're both of us hammering on the same document, then there's my letters, my initials, version 1 or version 2, and because sometimes we get into that cadence where it's like bouncing back and forth, and we're like, okay, look at this, try this. I think we're onto something here. Your turn. And so version control on a daily basis, can be challenging, but we've learned to be able to work through it after 30 books.
Yeah, so Rox, I'm hearing indeed a lot of back and forth at the actual written level. How often do you set up like weekly, daily, every other day Zoom meetings or telephone calls to have verbal discussions before, or only throwing things in writing, Rox?
So we actually do try to get together pretty frequently when I'm in Dallas, because I live in Dallas and I live in Austin. But we do Zoom meetings daily. We also do, phone calls if we need to, or chats if we need to say, oh, I'm sending this. But most times we only send each other files once a day, unless we find we've got a gap. And all of a sudden one of us will go, okay, something happened. We're missing this. And then we start hunting.
Mm. Yeah, I can't imagine, because electronics, a file transfer might fail and you don't notice, or if it's sent via email, it lands. Oh, how did that one land up in spam? It's dead, but I found it, right? Type thing, Charles. Has that ever happened to you?
I've had a stern talking to with my email provider saying, if you ever do this again, you're going to be the next villain in our book.
That sounds good, right? Yeah. Yeah. Gmail already should be a villain in the book.
I don't know that Microsoft is that far out of that realm. I'm sorry. They're both too controlling.
I said to both of you before we started record, we're so far so good. My macro suck Winslow 11 has not been cooperating well today. I've had several blue screens through the day. So if we freeze, we got to come back, but the record should be safe in the cloud. So yeah, I'm not a macro suck fan either, but it's kind of the operating system that we're stuck with. I'm not necessarily a Word fan either. I used to use, you both remember Lotus Amy Pro?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, be still my heart.
You love that one too, Roxa.
Oh, Word Perfect. How about that? I mean,
yeah. Word
full
Perfect.
Blank screen. Yeah. Oh.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to start to wrap it up. Is there a website? I like the series. Does the series have its own website?
It does. It's enigmaseries.com. ENIGMA series, SERIES.com.
All right. That's great. And that will, of course, be added in post for people to find. Thank you both for your time today. I've got a bazillion other questions. We could go for hours and no one would listen because it'd be too long then, right? To be able to talk to a writing duo is a wonderful change for me. So thank you, Rox.
Thank you very much. It was
Thank you,
lovely
Charles.
to come back in another venue.
All right. Thank you, Charles.
Joseph, invite us back for another time, and we'll swap some more stories, and we'll each get our favorite adult beverage, and
yeah,
we'll
if I'm ever in Texas, I have been in Texas. I used to work for Kmart HQ. Of course, Kmart's gone, but and I was in IT, the HQ administration, and we had a warehouse in Corsicana. So I'd been to Texas for computer equipment updates and whatnot in Corsicana. So yeah, been to Dallas briefly and whatnot, but never been there long term. So if I get a chance, I'll look you two up.
Please.
Yes.
Take care. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
And smack Mickey upside the head for me the next time you see him.
Any particular reason? Any particular reason why?
No, just for the hell of it. Yeah.
Well, we keep inviting him down here to Dallas, and he's like, "But it's in Texas." I said, "Yes, that's right, Mickey.
Yeah,
you understand geography. Got it." But he said, "I'm Canadian." I went, "Okay."
Exactly. I was going to add that note. He's up in Canada. He's not used to that kind of heat.
Well, I mean, there's 2 weeks every year where we don't have heat. Okay, we just haven't come down then.
Yeah. All right. Take care. God bless.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for having tuned in for Constitutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. For tuning in to books. There will be several different books, authors, several different authors. Books, authors, weeks for October of 2025. And remember, you can check out my books at josephmleonard.us/shop. And again, Joseph M. Leonard, it looks French. It's not Leonard, it's Leonard without an O, and I have to put the middle initial in there because there is a Joseph Leonard who is also a Christian author out of South Carolina, so I have to make that distinction. And going in line with books, authors weeks, I've joked as guests on other shows, I am not he is not me, and neither of us will be confused for Shakespeare. And frankly, most writers out there are not going to be confused for Shakespeare. They're not trying to be. There might be a few that, looking for that Renaissance era feel, but hey, it's a new millennia, people. Right? This is the here and now. It isn't Shakespearean Renaissance era. If you're looking for Shakespeare, reread Shakespeare. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM is your conservative flamethrower. Weekdays, Steve Gruber starts things off at 6 a.m. Gruber gives his perspective on the issues of the day. At 9 a.m., Glenn Beck blazes the airwaves with his nationally syndicated program. From noon to 3, it's Dennis Prager. At 3 o'clock, it's Wham's own Thayrone X. On the Edge, Thayrone tells it exactly as he sees it. At 6, it's The Dana Show, your conservative alternative. At 8, don't miss Joe Pags. Weekends are filled with conservative talk as well. Fingers Malloy, Thomas LeDuc, The Abolitionists Roundtable, A Moment of Clarity with Pastor Rick, Your American Heritage with Ed Bondarenka, Dave Janda's Operation Freedom, and Dick Kupke's Trigger Talk. You can even get links to Wham podcasts from Dave, Dick, and of course Thayrone, all from their pages on our website, whamradio.com. Keep it locked on Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM in southeastern Michigan, and whamradio.com anywhere in the world.